Hi, and you are?
I'm Glenn Johnson.
Hi, Glenn.
Hi.
This is for you, present.
Thank you.
Now come over here so you don't fall back, because we could go start playing footsie or something, and then you'd go off.
I'm scared.
You're scared, okay. Is that all right for you?
Yes, it's exciting.
Oh, good. That's what Fritz used to say. When you're scared, breathe a little and it'll turn to excitement.
I never had a chance to meet him, but I would have liked to. What you've given me here has scared me. I live in one of those communities that's isolated. A lot of very protected and protective people that are lashing out at anybody that uses a word like humanism. And the tendency is to get on their bandwagon. And I found myself, as I was saying, how do I respond to them without getting into the one-upsmanship and the up-down and all of that, things I know I shouldn't do. The temptation is so heavy to start answering their arguments and trying to do them just one better and that kind of thing. And that's where the scary is.
Let me take this opportunity to do something. All right, Glenn? And remember that anything we concoct is only a possibility. However, I have reason to believe that what I'm going to share with you has a lot. Many people know this, I think. There's a lot to offer. Anybody on the outside of me, let's put it like that, is someone with whom I can, that I can respond to. They are never the definers of me. Now, they can only be the definers of me if I have handed over my charge, myself to them. And you do it in many ways. How can I think different from somebody? They will be mad if I don't. They will be hurt if I don't. Blah, blah, blah. You know the end, right? Can you fill in the blah, blahs? Okay. All right. Now then, there are people around, and there are people who do what you said. They've got certain trigger words, and those have certain images and all that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of it going on because people are scared, and they think they're going to get security in new words. New words. All right. Now here's your friend. By the way, would you do something, or just role play with me, one of your friends, and I'm going to be somebody who is very clear about the fact that that whatever's outside of me I respond to, and it's never a definition of me. So tell me. Let's have a little role play.
You threw me with the use of the word friend.
Well, if they're not friends, I don't much care about them, do you?
The problem is I've not met them.
Oh, you haven't met them. Okay, so this is a fantasy.
No, well, it's happening in the community through letters to the editor and through all kinds of actions that they have taken on behalf and against other people. I know they're there. I've not personally encountered them yet.
All right, okay. So at this moment, I hear what you're saying. You haven't encountered them yet.
Right.
Do you expect to?
Yes.
All right, okay. So let us then, see, you're talking about a context which is what I now call the Hitler context. That there's a group of people who decide who shall live and who shall die. That's Hitler. So I don't waste any time. I just simply say, well, you have something with Hitler. But isn't that something for people who decide who shall live and who shall die? All right, so I just to make the observation, and they can do with it what they want. All right. Now, there are many ways to do that, because I could get killed that way. I could really get killed that way. Because remember when I was talking about one of the first things I learned was the difference between the verbal and the nonverbal. Okay? And that I can carry a tone in my voice that you'll want to kill me. I can carry a tone in my voice that you'll pity me. Carry a tone in my voice in which you think I'm boring as all get out. Carry another tone in which I disrupt your central cortex. I can do another one in which you will feel connected with me, and I can talk about the same content. And one of the things that gets very hard is that when we encounter people who are so rabid on things, but let's just try something. All right, so you give me a make-believe of somebody you expect to meet in your community. And give him a name. And you're going to be that person.
Okay, I'll be Don.
You're going to be Don, all right? So, and let's have a little context where I, Glenn, and you, Don, are meeting. What's the context? Got it?
Okay. You are active in one of the organizations in town that is working a lot to help people. You don't need to identify specifically.
No, but you need, all right, just tell me one little thing you're trying to do, because that will help me in how I'm going to play this.
Okay. Help people find new ways to run their lives.
Okay,
For
all right,
instance,
okay.
Working with battered women.
All right, okay. So you want to help the battered women, all right?
Okay. I'll call you...
You're going to call me Glenn. You're calling me Glenn, because I'm going to be you now. So you can see me as being you. You're done. You're done.
We've been hearing a lot about the kinds of things you've been doing down there at the center, and I just need to let you know we don't like it.
Oh, what have you heard about?
That you're down there trying to tell these women that they ought to leave their husbands and that they ought to be as good as their husbands and that you're wrecking marriages, you're doing all kinds of things.
Where did you get all this? Have you been down there? Has your wife been there by any chance? Where do you get it?
We know one of the women that goes to our church that has a friend that went down there, and she talked to the counselors that are down there, and she's not with her husband anymore. They told her that she needed to get out.
Was that the one where the husband beat her up and cut off one leg?
No.
Not that one. That was another one like that. He just beat her up and she didn't lose either leg. Was that the one?
Well, he was just being a husband. That beat her up was her story. That wasn't really what happened. That was just her side of it. And they never did talk to him to find out what his version of it was.
I see that you've got a recommendation here. And the recommendation is that you want fairness all the way, is what I hear you say. You know what would be good? I don't know if you can do it, but what would really be good, could you find that man and maybe we would have a chance to talk to him? Because fairness all the way is what you're talking about, isn't it?
I sure think there ought to be fairness all the way, yeah.
Yeah, Now, I want to just point out something. I know that I'm at risk with something like this. That here is somebody who is a self-styled righteous person. This is Glenn, Don, not Glenn. All right, now, when I connect with that, this is one way. I wouldn't always do it this way. Maybe do it some other way. What I'm doing is recognizing what he's telling me and finding some kind of way to put it into a context where he is going to be able to see something and also not feel isolated from me. Now, I just want to do this again, and I want to do it another way. So would you start out and tell me what you've been hearing?
We've been hearing about these women that go down there to the center, and they're getting filled with all kinds of ideas about how they're just as good as their husbands and that they can get off and do their own thing and they don't have to pay any attention to marriage vows. We just really don't like that.
Oh, I feel so bad that there's anybody like that who would feel that way. That's terrible. Maybe we should change everything we're doing. I'm so sad about that.
Well, I think you'd ought to be, because that's sure what we hear is going on.
Oh, gosh, I didn't really know. Oh, forgive me. I would never have done anything wrong.
Well, you sure have been.
You going to forgive me?
Not that easy. No, it's not that easy.
Now, that's another whole string of affairs. But you know that one. All right, do it again. I'm going to do another one. Same thing, Just let me say that.
Okay. Glenn, we really don't like the way you've been doing things down there at that women's center. You sure created a mess out of a lot of marriages.
Who in the hell do you think you are? Down there with all those crappy people being a righteous son of a bitch? Go on, chuck it, brother. That's enough. another one, isn't it?
A possibility.
And that I could get a knife drawn on me. For that one. That's right. All right, do it again. We'll do another one.
Glenn, you've really been tearing up things in that self-help center down there. All that you've been doing has wrecked so many homes. It's gotten so many women all upset. They're off doing stuff that, running away from their husbands and their kids.
It's great that you asked that question because I just happened to have a report from the National Institute of Mental Health in which there are several statistics of groups in the country where there is a great deal of husband beating going on, and I think that you would like to read that, so I think you will be more informed when you read it. Thank you.
I already know all I know and all I need to know.
All right, now do it again. I'm going to do another one. You notice everyone sends it in a different direction. But do it again.
Glenn, I'm really upset with the way things have been going down there at the center. You've been taking a bunch of this new human psychology stuff and turning it loose on these women, and you've really wrecked a lot of them.
Gosh, in heaven, I knew one day somebody would come out. You know, that reminds me of a joke. A joke?
You don't really care what happens.
And I can do that. You recognize that. Or I can do what I did before, or I can do another one. Say it to me again. It's another form of making a connection with him at the same time trying to do something which doesn't escalate what he's doing, but may create a little doubt. So tell me again.
Glenn, this kind of stuff that you've been working with down there at the center just really is doing a lot of damage. You know, you're tearing apart families, you're tearing apart homes, you're getting women with all kinds of modern ideas that aren't good for them. You really ought to be doing something different. You ought to do something about that. We've got a lot of people that think it ought to be stopped.
You know, let me have your hand. How do you feel about that? One of the nicest things that anybody can do is to share what they feel. And I feel you've done that for me. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're together in what we're doing, because I don't know if I understand completely what you're saying, and I don't know if you understand completely with me. But I really like the fact that you've taken the trouble, you have taken the interest to be able to share this with me. Can we talk further about it?
I'd sure like to.
Okay. Now that's another one. Now, there's a difference, too. You notice I offered him my hand. He didn't give it to me right away. Now I'm going to tell you what I did. I really mean what I say about always you're better off when people can tell you where they are. And so what I did is I let my body give even an extra bit of message of warmth to him. Because I also know he's scared. This Don is scared. And so that there is a whole lot that has to happen for him to understand the rumors that are going on. And you know also, I'm on board of a battered woman's, I was going to say refuge. It is a battered woman's one. I'm supposed to stop pretty soon. Anyway, and the women get so guilty about what has happened, and they haven't been able to raise themselves enough so that they talk to other people in a way of trying to validate what has happened to them. So the point of it is, this you're talking to me has very little to do with the organization per se. It has to do with your scaredness and so on. And if I find no way to make a contact with you that is going to help us to come together, then we're not going to be able to do anything. When I worked with really delinquent, acting out people and the families of the people, and I learned that what was underneath was the fear. And what they needed from me was some honest kind of connection. And if I could, to take a handshake. Handshakes are very relatively innocuous. They look innocuous, but they're actually powerful connectors. And you can feel that in my own hand here. And the responses come differently. Now, I wouldn't want anybody to think you can go out and model this exactly like this, but what it is possible to do, once you take somebody out of an enemy category and put them into a person who is responding, and behind such a person I see fear, I see anger, I see worry, I see all that kind of stuff. So the first part is to make a bridge. And to make that bridge, and when you get into these tough things, we're going to have more and more of things like that, because a lot of the cult stuff is evolving and all the rest of that. For how to really make it, you keep your own integrity, you make a contact, and I'm always glad when people tell me, but I can also say I think we have some disagreements, and also that I don't even know we understand each other, because we would just be playing with words, because one thing that people would often do is start to deny because they feel attacked. And then they would go on. I don't know if that helps you any,
Yeah,
but there are all these options.